So, hey guys, Chauzu here. Today I thought we'd take a look at JP reactions to Gear 5 in One Piece Treasure Cruise. I'm going to be looking at some comments to this tweet by the Japanese One Piece Treasure Cruise account, or Torekuru as it's called in Japanese. And yeah, this is reactions to the various abilities of Gear 5, both PvP and PvE. I would say in general that the status quo for JP reactions is to be hype and positive. We've had some cases where this has not been the case. For example, with Uta release, especially with the 6 Plus Uta, and a bit with the anniversary itself. But here is more positive, and I'm not going to look at general hype comments. I'm going to look at some more, I'm not going to say divisive, but just other types of reactions to this unit. So let's get started. First up, we have some reactions to the EX Special, or EX Choka as it's called in Japanese. And this user says EX Choka de kekko tsuyoi ne v. And that W at the end is the same as LOL in English. So he's basically saying that EX Super is pretty strong, eh? And indeed it is. It's probably the strongest part of Gear 5 in normal PvE content. I also like it a lot. This Japanese person says, EX Choka de nika ni narurute anchinsta ne. Shitawa, actually. Ikkai shinanai to ikenai nara pati ga mecha muskashi. And it basically says that thank God that you can become Gear 5 or Nika by using the EX Super. It will have been a real pain to team build that you have to die once. And yeah, I'm very happy that they added it as well. Like when I was first reading the Gear 5 info, I was a bit like, oh no, you have to die. But then we get to the EX Super, and that really changed things and made Gear 5 more interesting in general, I think. Then we have a very common sentiment here that we're going to see from many people, which is this one, nagaite. So basically, too long, lol. And there's a lot of complaints of various serious nature about the length of the text. I think the Twitter users mostly find this funny. And I will say though that the capability for Gear 5 is not that bad, but I think this is more an indication of how big this event is going to be, especially on JP, because if you are a regular One Piece Treasure Cruise player, you won't bat an eye at the capability, but if you only return when you feel like it, when there's something hype going on, then it might be a bit eye-opening, that capability, but like, just compared to Kid Luffy, and this is nothing in comparison. But yeah, we have a few more like this. I think most of them are pretty fun. Sencho Koka Mecha Nagayan. That capability is too long. This guy says, Oji-san, Rogandashi, Komakai bubu wa yoko mienai kedo. Sen yoko de hikasete moraimasu. So basically, I'm starting to get old and bad in my eyes and I can't see details very well, but I'm going to pull as hard as I can. So yeah, basically saying that I don't care what Gear 5 does, I'm going to pull. This is pretty similar. Se no wa wakaranai kedo, sen yoko de hiku. So basically, I have no idea what it does, but I'm going to pull hard. Yeah, basically I ignore all of that. This guy says, Sencho koka nagasugete yomu kimu nakatta. Yomu ki nakunatta. Yeah, that's a lot better. Troaisu bukkawarete koto de ii kana. So basically, that capability is too long, so I can't bother to read it. Can we basically just say that he's OP as F, basically? And yeah, that's a common sentiment about this. And I'd say that this is the classic example of a more casual user who just want to have a good is hype and want to pull and don't really care what Gear 5 does at all. And this one also, Sencho Koka Nagasugi, Futsuni Rokubai Nanabai de Eyan. So basically, that captain ability is too long. Just make him like 6 or 7 times attack in the captain, basically. And yeah, you know, this guy is a super casual and he just thinks, I just make it 6 times, 7 times, who cares? No need to complicate things. And yeah, maybe you don't need to complicate it if you make it a 7 times captain ability, but that's a bit too big leap. Before we get to 7 times attack, we're going to be going through the cycle of like 6.25, 6.5, 6.75 times. Like it's like at least 2 years down the line, I'd say. And yeah, this is the last one. I think this one is very funny. Sono uchi sencho koka yomono ni ko narimasune. Like, by the time you finish reading a captain ability, you've been able to read this basically a bit too much. But yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. Now some other stuff. We have some PvP posts. This guy says, Kaisokusai tsuyoi no ga ureshi. Basically, I'm glad he's strong in PvP. I'm not fully on board with that. I think he should be used on a side team. I think side teams becomes better with Luffy and Momo. But I wouldn't say that Sai is now the best. Int is still a pretty big issue, but we'll have to wait and see in practice. This guy says, GP bastu bukkovaresugite varota. So basically that GP burst is so broken you can't help but laugh, basically. And I think the big GP kit in general is the strongest part of this unit. You can make a good case for Gear 5 being the best GP leader now and finally dethroning Roger. So that's pretty exciting. Like, it's going to be fun to use Gear 5 against Roger. But then when we get maybe everything is Gear 5, then maybe it's not as fun anymore. We'll have to wait and see. There's also a lot of reaction regarding film Red Luffy. Red Luffy kansen ni... I think it's Tsubushite, va? Yeah, Tsubushite. Kansen ni Tsubushite kusa. So basically, film Red Luffy has lost all meaning to be used, basically. No reason to use film Red Luffy anymore. And yeah, they share color, they say share classes, and like film Red Luffy can do an attack boost and has a final tap, so I think you can actually use them together decently. But in most cases, like, yeah, it's not like film Red Luffy saw a lot of use as is, so yeah. And this guy says, with the film Red Luffy avatar, Red Luffy o doni kashite hoshi. Can't you do something about film Red Luffy and implying maybe make him better, give him a 6+ or something? And this guy gets right to the point. Red Luffy no choshinka nishiyoya. Give film Red Luffy a 6+. And yeah, I don't think he's in front of the line for a 6+. And I'm actually pretty disappointed that we've not had any data mine of any Super Sugo getting a 6+. So yeah, if it's happening, it's not happening this month at least. Now the 2 final tweets. Shojiki bukkoware senu Naruto omotteta kedo, Kitaichi ga takasugita ka, amari odoroki ga nai, kore Luffy Yamato no hou ga tsuyoku nai ka. So this is one of the few users I found who was not fully on the hype train. He said that, honestly, I thought that this unit will be super OP in terms of abilities, but maybe I had too much expectations. I don't feel like there's anything surprising here. Like, isn't Luffy Yamato stronger? And yeah, I've been thinking about this myself. Like, Luffy Yamato obviously not had any hype and are a very annoying unit to use. But in many ways, investing in them was not that bad of a call. They still have very strong abilities, and I wouldn't say that Gear 5 is clearly better than Luffy Yamato. And especially for PvP, like, I have a level 150 Luffy Yamato since I invested posters. So even if me rainbowing Luffy Yamato was not in intention, they ended up aging pretty good. Gear 5 didn't power creep them, so I feel pretty good about having them now. Final tweet. Taiyo no Kamihen. Rokido wa uchi iri no yatsu o chushinken ni shite kure. And basically, yeah, give Law and Kid a 6+, and it's implying the Super Sugo, Kid, and Law, who will be on free multis that we'll be getting. And yeah, I think many are expecting them, like either them getting a 6+ or getting a new Super Sugo Fest Kid Law. Once Gear 5 drops and things calm down a bit, I'll post a video about my expectations for this celebration going forward. But yeah, that's some Twitter comments from Japan. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.